Yours is a story that really does need to be shared. Um, I'm going to ask you to go way back in time here, but please would you tell our audience about your start in life?
Yeah, so I live in the United States, in the state of Oklahoma, actually, but I'm originally from South Korea. I was adopted when I was 13 months old, and I was brought over to the States. I was raised in a very Christian home. My dad, he's the pastor of worship of the church I grew up in, and my mom, she's a children's minister. And so I grew up in a very Christian home. I grew up in a very pro life home. My parents, they lived out those convictions by adopting kids. So I'm one of 12 kids, 10 of us being adopted. And so I grew up in that home. And at the age of 13, my parents, they thought I was old enough to know more about my adoption story. And so they actually told me about how my birth mother, 2 months into her pregnancy with me in South Korea, decided to have a DNC abortion. It's a type of abortion where a doctor rips the baby apart and brings them out in pieces. At the time, they thought it all gone how it's supposed to. And so they sent her home. But then a few months later, she realized the abortion actually failed. I was still very much so alive, very much so still growing and developing inside of her. And so she kept me, and I was born later on that year. I lived with a foster family for a year before I was adopted and brought over to the Presley family here in the States.
Wow, that's quite something. Now, Josiah, this is perhaps a bit more of a personal question, I'll answer it as you please. But what feelings would you say you now have towards your biological mother?
So there's definitely been a journey with it. At the time, at 13, when they told me that, there's a lot of anger and there's a lot of hurt